ये सोच नहीं खुद तक सीमित, इस देश के प्रगति का है विजन। आर्थिक आजादी मिले हमें है ध्येय, बड़ा हो परिवर्तन।
Let's explore, let's experiment, let's execute, let's enjoy. Let's explore, let's experiment, let's execute, let's enjoy.
ये सोच नहीं खुद तक सीमित, इस देश के प्रगति का है विजन। आर्थिक आजादी मिले हमें है ध्येय, बड़ा हो परिवर्तन। मन में मन जीतेंगे जंग, ले मन के संग। लाखों अरमान है और सपने नए, हौसले है बुलंद। चले संग संग, चले संग संग, चले संग संग, ले मन के संग।
Good morning, everyone. I'm your host, Amol Moe, Senior Manager Programs at Lemon Ideas. Welcomes you all today for this today's event. The incredible journey of Innopreneurs Season 11 began in June 2024 with over 1,000 plus startups entries we have received from the diverse range of countries. Some of them are Uganda, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, UAE, and the UK, and of course, including our India, the pan-India level. After more than 30 presentations rounds, we are excited to announce that the top 100 startup cohort, also known as the Centurion Startup Stage, is ready for Season 11. Some of the highlights for the CSS are there will be 100 startups, countries participating, India plus 7 other countries. I already mentioned some of them. Interestingly, the 30% of the startups are focused or their work is on AI, generation AI. 60% startups are already in a stage of raising investment. The interesting part here is the initiative or the chase from the students, what we have seen. 10% startups are basically led by students. What will you going to see in the next 1 month during this CSS stage is 20 hours of training, 30 hours of mentoring and collaboration spaces. There will be a 10 pitching rounds, the formation of lemon cohort, incubation and mentoring. 100 days of raising efforts will be put in for you guys. And there are going to be a 25 plus jury experts, mentors are here to guide you, mentor you, and handhold you to your next step of the success in your startup journey. Next slide, please. So let me invite Lieutenant Colonel Saurabh Shah, sir, a VP Partnership, to share about Lemon Ideas and Innopreneurs.
Thank you, Amolji. Thank you very much. Very, very good morning to all of you. Nice to see so many people here on this platform. Welcome once again. May I get Ashwinji? Can I get to the next slide? Yeah. So I'll just talk about the Lemon journey. We started our journey in 2013. We were conceptualized and we launched our Lemon Ideas in that year. 2014 was the year when we launched the Innopreneurs platform. And 2015, we started our Lemon School of Entrepreneurship and the journey went on. And you can see 2021, when the COVID happened, we turned international. And we had a very good outreach to international community. And then we launched out in 2023. We also launched a junior vertical where we are doing a lot of programs for the K-12 students. And 2024, we launched our advisory services. Next slide. So Innopreneurs, till now, if I talk about all the editions put together, we have had participation from 20 plus countries. We have had around 12,000 entrepreneurs, and this all these entrepreneurs have become a community now. And 11 seasons we have done. We have had more than 5,500 plus pitches, more than 500 jury and guest members who have been part of this initiative. 200 partner pool which we have, and we had 3 junior editions as part of this Innopreneurs platform. Next slide. So for you, we are bringing a training boot camp. I think my team has already shared the schedule with you. It is, and we are looking forward for all these training sessions. You can take a snapshot of this if you want to have it with you. And there are a lot of good things which are there required for the founder. So which is there for you, and you can also participate and give your thought process in this. I think it will be beneficial for all of us. Next slide. I'll now request Amol Muleji to take over from here. Over to you, Amol.
Let me invite and welcome our esteemed guest for the day. We have Mr. Rahul Nainwal, who is head of UPS Business School, Dehradun. Mr. Deepak Menaria, founder and CEO at Lemon Ideas. Mr. Nitesh Shende, founder and CEO, XRI1 Technologies at Bangalore. Next slide, please. So let me announce formally starting the session. So formally, the kickstarting of Centurion Startup Stage Season 11 has begun. Next slide, sir. So let's capture this moment group photo. Please open everyone their camera. Are we good to go to next slide if photo is done? Okay, so our first guest for today is Mr. Deepak Menaria. Deepak is a first generation entrepreneur, startup mentor, thought leader, and innovation change catalyst for 3 E's: education, ecology, entrepreneurship. He is currently serving as a founder and chief idea farmer at Lemon Ideas. Before founding Lemon, Deepak co-founded Lemon Technologies in the year 2000, which is now a Hitachi Global Logic. Let me invite Mr. Deepak, sir, to address the audience. Deepak ji, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amol ji. Namaskar. Can we have the stop share, screen share, please? Yeah, wonderful. Very, very good morning, everyone. सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. Happy to be part of this another episode of season 11 Centurion Startup Stage, something that we have been doing it for almost a decade now. It's a Valentine Day, special day for love. And I think this is a day that we can celebrate our love for our startups, for our ideas. I remember around 8 years back, we had done a special idea dating day for for entrepreneurs on the same day, and we have been doing some kind of crazy stuff on this day. And I'm glad and I'm happy that this is a good coincidence that the Centurion Startup Stage Season 11 is getting launched on this special day, which we all know it as a love as a day of love, as Valentine's Day. So thank you everyone for being part of this wonderful Valentine's Day morning. I know your love for ideas and your startup will always be supreme than probably any other love in your life at this stage. I've been an entrepreneur for more than 30 years, and I can relate very well what it takes to be an entrepreneur, and what kind of love and emotions we carry with our baby, which we call it as a startup or a venture or an idea. So interestingly, yes, this season has again given us a lot of uh, a lot of new learnings, the new insights, and I also would want to welcome our guest for the day, Rahul Nainwal from UPS Business School, and also Mr. Nitesh Shende from uh, uh, from One Technologies, Bangalore. So thank you so much, both of you, for joining in this wonderful morning and being part of this occasion. So also would want to thank Saurabh Shah from my team and Amol Mule for hosting this program, as well as everybody in my team from Lemon who have been part of organizing this entire Innopreneur journey. And I mark my appreciation for the entire team, because it's something that we have been doing it over and over again, and every time we do, there's something new that we learn and we build up from this. So this season, yes, has been interestingly from multiple standpoint. One is definitely every time we do Innopreneur, we kind of somewhere gauge the pulse. So the startup pulse is something that we come to know before it is kind of evident to the world. And this is what we have been seeing every year. During COVID time, there was some other trend. Before COVID, there was something else. And now every year we see a trend when thousands of founders register with us on this very popular contest, which is being organized by a pure private institution. So that makes it very unique, unlike many such platforms or competition which are organized by either government agencies or by academic institutions. Probably this would be the only one in the country which has been consistently being organized for last 10 years. And somehow this has gauged a lot of popularity without single marketing or M of marketing. I think thousands of entrepreneurs register with us. It has gone to 10, 15 more countries now. Every time we see some new country coming in, and I'm always curious to talk to those entrepreneurs and find out what is bringing them to us. So that's what has something that we have been also learning and really gathering a lot of insights on this. So AI definitely is one big thing this time. Yes, it's all over the globe, so we cannot really escape from it. So AI and generative AI is definitely a big component in this season, where almost 30% startups have somewhere or the other they are using AI. So that's one big thing. Another interesting trend that I've seen this season is legal tech, which is absolutely a big kind of a news to us and news to everyone, and a happy news that legal area or judiciary or legal compliances are being looked upon by startup in a very significant way. So if I look last 10 years, probably a few prominent startups from legal tech would add up to 7, 8, or 10. Only in this season, we have more than somewhere around 5 to 10 good startups on the legal tech side. So which is a good news to us as a country, as a nation. We also have participants joining in from South Korea, from Japan. I think for them it will be somewhere late afternoon. We also have few participants from Europe, so for them it might be very very early morning to you. So thank you so much for making sure to be part of this interesting milestone as part of Innopreneur journey, as well as your entrepreneur journey also. So I think few things I just want to touch upon, though I have been interacting with a lot of participants of this season at various occasions, and I commit my 100 hours to every season of Innopreneurs, and I keep my learning and enjoyment alive when when I keep meeting such bunch of entrepreneurs and founders every time. So, couple of 2, 3 things which I just wanted to emphasize, having been interacted with thousands of entrepreneurs, founders over the past more than a decade now. Few learnings that I have built up, few things that I have picked up from there. I'll just share it with the audience here. So, one is I think to me over a long run, what matters is something not just that what you do today or tomorrow, but over a consistently what you have build up. So I think gratitude is something which I would want to highlight here, that we might rise to a 10th floor or 15th floor, but I think we should always remember that there was first floor which helped us to move to the second floor, and second floor helped us to move to the third floor. So I believe in this world of so-called crazy competition, which I call it more as a collaboration. But yes, there's a fierce competition. Everybody wants to move fast. Everybody wants to be top in the race and all that. So all because of the society, whatever kind of framework and kind of institution we have been part of it. But yes, always remember gratitude is something which will pay at a long run. So always have gratitude towards people who have been part of your journey, towards parents, towards your colleagues, towards friends, to everyone. And finally, there is some supreme power at the top where everything is being controlled and driven from them. So always have this kind of belief and gratitude. So that's one thing which I talk about entrepreneurs every time I meet. Another thing is, I think also what matters is, are you being mindful with your work? So the AI is coming. There's a lot of debate going on about sustainability, the green part of it, and so this will always go on. On one side, human evolution is taking it to a different level in terms of growth, in terms of development. On other side, there is a challenge on the mother nature, on the earth, in terms of the natural resources, the kind of an a magical atmosphere, or the kind of magical environment which has been created by Almighty God. So I think what I have learned over the years is, what matters finally is, are we being mindful in our work? So whatever we are doing, I think, is this something that is good for the future? Is this something better for the world? I think that will always probably make us move in the right direction from the human evolutionary and ecological perspective. And one way that I look at it always, wherever I have startups in front of me, if I have to pick that startup for deeper engagement with us, or if I have to look that startup from an investment standpoint, or if I have to look at the startup from my personal portfolio building, I think one yardstick that I always apply is, will I want my children to benefit or use their product and services? Because what may be, one thing that no parent will compromise will be the well-being of their children. They could compromise on everything else, maybe even mother nature, maybe the earth, maybe atmosphere, maybe resources, but one thing I think probably people will not compromise will be their children. And this is where is my own yardstick of looking at, are we being mindful of the work that we are doing? Is our startup mindful for future? Are we doing something good for the futuristic of the country? So I think this is another one simple, very simple message which I always talk about. And lastly, I think I'm a big fan of co-creation. So to me, co-creation has can be magical, probably beyond our imagination. And that's what we have been trying to do over the last so many years, where there is so much of co-creation opportunities, collaboration opportunities. A lot of startup people fear me. This is my idea. I'll not share it. This is my secret. But believe me, we have been seeing so many coincidences. In fact, there's one good coincidence that we have seen in this current season, when it's similar idea, similar startup. We have two different teams from two different countries, and they were so surprised that the same thing was done something in Japan, and the same thing was being done something in South Korea. So I think this kind of surprises and coincidences are very common for us. And that's what I've been saying. Open your arms for collaboration. Keep sharing whatever work that you're doing. You never know what thread, what situation or what kind of a conversation might absolutely bring a next big thing in your journey. So I think co-creation is key here. There are only two choices. Either you have very, very deep pockets, or you are open for co-creation. So I think most of the people, most of the startups, most of the entrepreneurs I keep meeting would probably be in the category where they'll not have deep pockets. Everybody needs money, everybody needs funding, and that's something which is obviously basic reality of life. But I think co-creation opens up a lot of more opportunities and collaborations. Yes, funding, we'll be touching upon a lot of funding. So I think funding readiness is one of the major agenda, and I'm happy to have one of our team member Amrish Sinha in the Zoom room right now, who would be leading and driving the entire startup growth initiative at Lemon Idea. So you can expect a lot of conversations with him on the funding side. But yes, we are going to look at that as a very major activity as part of the Centurion startup stage. So with this, I would want to once again welcome you all. Thank you so much for being part of this Kickstart ceremony. आप सबकी जय हो, मंगल हो, शुभ हो, सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak sir, for your insights and sharing and learning with our audiences. Yes, our next distinguished guest speaker is Professor Rahul Nainwal. Professor, let me give a quick brief about Professor Rahul Nainwal. He is a distinguished entrepreneur and design thinker with over 2 decades of experience in social impact ventures. He is the co-founder of I Volunteer, India Fellows Social Leadership Program, and Unlimited Delhi, a pioneer of cashrelief.org. He focuses on innovative solutions for poverty and financial inclusion. With background in engineering and an MBA, he is also an angel investor and mentor to the emerging startup. Let me invite Professor Rahul to share an address to our audiences.
So thanks so much. So first of all, a quick check. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So okay. So to that illustrious kind of introduction, I just also want to add that about 3 years back, I started a company called Jadi Beauty, which was essentially a beauty products company for Himalayas, and it failed, right? And we were not able to raise money and all of that. So in my own startup journey, also I've seen like lots of ups and downs. Some ventures did well, other ventures didn't do well, some have failed utterly, and so on and so forth. So, and in my job at UPS now, where I work, along with Amresh, with whom you will be, Amresh used to work with us earlier, and with whom you will be like working on funding ideas. I mean, we have together kind of collected some learnings, because I was also part of the incubator here. I set up the incubator very much like Lemon Ideas. We call it Runway, and out there in Dehradun. So first of all, I think congratulations to everybody who has made it to this list. I think it's a great day and it's a great achievement. And also, thanks for inviting me, Lemon Idea guys, Deepak sir, I think, and all of your team. Thank you very much for inviting me. I think it's a privilege. I was quite surprised. Why have you invited me? But since you've invited me, I'll see whether I can actually add some value to the illustrious large startups who are kind of there. So in my journey, what I have kind of experienced is that a lot of us, including me, when I thought of doing a startup, and let's say the most recent startup that I kind of did and failed, my idea was to make money. I was very much driven by money, that I want to get rich. I've now spent like many years in social space, and then some time in academia. So there was this desire, yaar, bahut ho gaya, matlab na thode paise kamane chahiye. And that's why I started Jadi Beauty. There was no bigger purpose to starting Jadi Beauty, and it's not a wrong place to be. I think a lot of you want to do this startup because you want to get rich. You see companies doing an IPO, you see founders getting an exit, and then they're buying fancy things, and doing many things. But I think statistics essentially says that 99% of the startups will fail. Okay. So your chances of making money through a startup is actually very less. Yeah. I mean, it sounds very bad and sad today when you're starting this journey, that why this man in white hair telling us that I will not make money in this. But that's the truth here. I mean, I think, and so if you know, and like for a moment, know that this is not the way you will make big money. You're better off making big money if you do a job, do it well, work there 15, 20 years, get an ESOP and do that. The chances of making money, the probability of making money is much higher there. Okay. So if money is not what would eventually come in this journey, then you have to think through why you're doing this. Right? Why are you in this startup journey? I can answer personally, and I think I'm sure Deepak can answer this. Amresh also had a adventure a few months back. We keep on discussing this. I think we love it. I love it. I think there is nothing more exciting in life other than doing a startup. Like, you are the boss. Your mind, your body, and everything comes together to create something. Yeah. Success, money, whether I'll be famous or not, is a byproduct. But the journey in this is truly the reward, at least for me. And I think I would like each one of you think through that, is this journey truly rewardful for me or not? If it is not, then you want to reconsider why you are doing this. So I think this is one thing I have learned from my experience. Today also, if you ask me, here is this idea, let's build a startup, I will jump in, because I know that it is rewarding in so many ways. Of course, everything has an ups and downs and all of that will happen. But I would never trade off. Like if somebody told me, here is your startup and there is no journey in, I will not take that success. Yeah, because that, at least in my life, has liked the journey, and that's why I was there. This the second thing I think I want to like talk to you about, and I also get this feeling because I get a lot of startups at UPS also, doing a lot of AI based work. Like I was doing X, now added an AI to it, right? Or people want to do something in AI. Yeah. So एक English में expression होता है, and I just want to kind of tell you, if you have a hammer, मतलब अगर आपके हाथ में हथौड़ा है, then every problem looks like a nail to you. Okay. So, and I've seen this in phases, when I started my startup journey, the hammer was .com. Like, agar I can build an internet company, I can solve any problem. Yeah. Nowadays, it's AI. So I see a lot of people are saying, yeah, usse pehle beech mein ek app tha. Like 10 years back, the whole problem in the world can be solved through an app. I want to build an app, no matter what the problem. So do think about that. Are you also falling in that trap that I have a hammer, every problem is a nail to me? I am trying to do this AI stuff because it's in vogue. A lot of people are talking about AI. I probably will be able to raise money and all of that. If that's your way to approach AI, you're not going to last very far, because what will happen is 3 years, 2 years, 1 year down the line, the world will have another fad, and all these AI startups will have a bigger challenge, and how will they sustain themselves? So my mentor told me that always try to solve a problem. If you try and solve a problem today, maybe through with an app, maybe with an AI, maybe with opening a physical store, the chances and the longevity of your startup in a company are going to be much, much higher. And try and fall in love with the problem that you're trying to solve. Don't try and love the solution that you're kind of bringing in, because that always is short-sighted, right? And then final thing, I want to like discuss with you. You will be trying to raise money, yeah, and you will see lots of ups and downs and all of that. But the secret there, I guess, is that if you remember that people don't fund ideas, people fund people, right? Because almost any decent investor knows that if you have an idea today, And as you go through the process, this idea will pivot. I think that's the word. Idea will change and other things will be added. Some will be moved away from it. Uh, but so they're not investing so much in an idea, right? So don't feel great like, I have this brilliant idea and I'm going to like raise tons of money because of that. People are going to invest in you, right? So it is very important that you are able to demonstrate to a funder that no matter what, yeah, I'm taking this money from you. I will be responsible about it. And I will make sure that this succeeds. Yeah. Whether it requires us to pivot, it requires us to do a variety of things, we will kind of do that. And also one more thing that I have found very, very useful and effective in raising money is that whenever I was able to demonstrate to the funder that I will lose more money and reputation than him or her if this idea were to fail. Yeah. And so whenever I was trying to do a startup part-time, right, I was always unsuccessful in raising money. Whenever the person, like a funder, told me I hope everybody understand Hindi. He said, मैं ये जानना चाहता हूं कि अगर मेरे कपड़े उतरेंगे इस बिजनेस में तो तेरे कपड़े भी उतरेंगे. मतलब you will also lose your shirt if I lose my money. If that skin in the game is not there, then most likely nobody's going to fund you, right? So so these three things I thought from my journey that I have, I should like kind of share with you. Demonstrate skin in the game and your seriousness and your willingness to be responsible with the money. That's, I think, number one. I see another friend here, Professor Dwari. Hi, Dwari.
Hello, hello, Nainwal Saab.
Hi. So yeah, and
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. So I think one, like I said, demonstrate that you have skin in the game by saying that, I'm fully committed to this. I'm going to be responsible with this money as if it is my dad's PF money, right? And या मेरी बहन की शादी के पैसे मैं उतना responsible इस पैसे के लिए रहूंगा. Most likely, people will fund you. The second thing is, don't be a hammer that is looking for a nail. Yeah. आज AI है और कोई और फैड है, उसके साथ नहीं जाए. What is the deep problem that we are trying to solve? And यार finally, अगर आप ये पैसे कमाने के लिए कर रहे हो, that this is the way to make lots of money, I can tell you there are many easier ways to make money. Do it because you really love the journey. मतलब आपको मजा आता है स्टार्टअप करने में, वो जो उसकी एक्साइटमेंट है वो बड़ी मजेदार है. द जर्नी इज द रिवॉर्ड. एंड विद दैट आई थिंक थैंक यू वेरी मच and be successful and enjoy this process. It's really, really great talking to all of you.
Thank you, Professor Rahul, for your auspicious presence and guiding all the audiences here through your journey and the three learnings what you have shared with them. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. So our other distinguished guest for today is Nitesh Shende. He is a founder and CEO at XRI1 Technologies. With 22 years of experience in product companies and 15 years in product leadership, Nitesh is a recognized leader and speaker at global product and startup conferences. He invests in women-led startups and mentor the Rebalance Accelerator, NSR Cell IM Bangalore. He specializes in innovation, e-commerce, CRM, and analytics. He also angel investors and mentor to all emerging startups. So, Nitesh ji, please address our audiences.
Well, thanks. Thanks, Amol. And thanks, Lemon Ideas team, first of all, for inviting me. I hope you can hear me. Just say thumbs up if you can. Yeah, cool. So I think congratulations to everyone who is kind of made it till here and, going to take their ideas and like whatever they're executing on to next level, with the entire program being set up for you. So congratulations and, thanks for joining and inviting me as well to the Lemon Ideas team. So I think couple of points that I want to talk about, I think, and, which probably some of them I've learned hard way, through failures, like Rahul also talked about. We all go through our shares of failures and successes. And, I think one of the things that we have to kind of, we always try to learn more from failures and try to learn less from success. But I would say we need to also learn from our successes, that why something is working and how can I amplify that more to really take it to 10x, 100x more level, right? So sometimes we overanalyze our failure and kind of get, more depressed. Anybody who has been best at anything ever has always been doing so by amplifying their strengths and not really trying to work on their weaknesses more. So I'm not saying weaknesses you should not analyze and try to work on them, but I think disproportionately more time spent on amplifying your strengths and successes, right? The second thing I'll talk about, and I think kind of Rahul hinted at that as well, is that basically electricity on its own is not worth anything, right? Like if at all anything probably gives you shock, and which is dangerous, right? But when same electricity is being used as fan, for powering the fan to kind of generate cool air, air conditioner, and so many other electrical appliances that we are aware of, lights, everything, then it becomes really, really useful to everybody, and that's where it's creating value. I would say in the same way, when ideas are there, they also probably give you the shock, and that's where your execution probably starts. But I think a real game is really the execution and your iterations that you're going to have on, whatever you are working on. So I think as you get mentorship from people, be very open and humble to kind of accept certain things and be ready to kind of change if that's the kind of feedback you're getting, basically, right? And the idea should be to really create something which is of value to a lot of people more than anything else. And that's probably the only way you're going to be grandly successful, or nothing else will work, right? The second thing I will say is that a lot of time we all founders, entrepreneurs, behave like a cat. If any one of you has ever observed cat drinking the milk, she will basically close her eyes and then drink the milk, right? And she thinks that nobody's actually looking at her and nobody's watching her, drinking the milk, right? That by closing her own eyes. I think a lot of times we entrepreneurs end up in that, zone where we think that there is absolutely no competition for us, right? We close our eyes and we think this is the only idea, and like we only have this idea, and nobody else will probably have this idea and try to execute in the same way, right? That's actually totally false. The second important point, that's what I would say, is that the competition exists. There is a direct competition. There is a notion of direct competition. There's also a notion of indirect competition. So for anything that you're trying to do, there's going to be tremendous competition, and the only way probably we are going to win against that competition is not by closing our eyes, but probably facing that competition and trying to create something which is probably more worthy than the competition in certain ways, right? So don't you close your eyes like cat, right? The third thing I would say, probably Deepak kind of talked about it, but I will say that and I'll re-emphasize that, is that for the farmers, the competition is not really other farmers, right? The competition really is the pest and the entire natural things that are happening all around the farm, and how do you create valuable farm produce which will be valuable to a lot of people and maybe animals, right? That's really the idea. The competition is not other farmers, and I think in the same way, in this contest, your other contestants are actually not your competition. Like winning this competition probably is a small part of it. Really, you need to win in the market. That should be your motto. And I think from that perspective, collaboration is actually really, really important. Like Deepak talked about, I will probably do 100 plus 100 plus 1,000 on that one point alone, because nothing great ever was built without collaboration. If you see, even like starting with the 80s, Apple and Microsoft, they brought out similar products, and a lot of times there was like cross collaboration that was happening, right? And a lot of times competitors also collaborate, and in this case, a lot of contestants probably are not even working in same area, but there's a lot of learning that we can share with each other, collaborate with each other, share connects with each other, and which can probably unlock doors for some for a fellow contestant. So I think winning together, each one of us probably has a different market, and different share of earth that we can probably conquer. So I would say better to focus on, winning your share and helping as many others win probably will get you home faster, right? So with that, I would, that's the kind of third point I wanted to make. So with that, I would like to kind of quote similar thing like, in Harry Potter, there is a saying that it's our choices, that make us who we are far more than abilities. I would say that it's our execution that makes us, gives power to our ideas far more than the potential in those ideas. So focus on execution and focus on creating something that is valuable to a lot of people, right? So that's probably going to be give you a lot of success. So wishing all of you really big success, and thanks again for inviting me.
Thank you, Nitesh, for your valuable insights and sharing your journey and the learning. So as we have come to the last session of this Kickstart ceremony, is vote of thanks. So on behalf of Lemon Ideas, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to distinguished guests for their valuable time and insights. Your presence and words have truly enriched this event. I'm sure our audiences, all the presence here, have a lot of things to learn and take from the things you have shared with us. A special thanks to our organizing team for their dedication and seamless execution, and to all our audiences for their participation. We Lemon Ideas appreciate each one of you for making this Kickstart ceremony meaningful. I wish you everyone, all the participants, the CSS 100 startup participants, all the best for the coming journey you're going to. And with this, let me close this Kickstart ceremony. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone here. Okay, yeah, next slide, please.
Yeah.
What do we have?
Yeah, so I think
The
I just want to add a few things. So happy to have you, Rahul, and happy to have you, Nitesh ji. Thank you so much for joining in. And also, very happy to see my old childhood friend Dwarika in the Zoom room. Hi, Dwari, so good to see you again, long time. So I think Dwari and we share a very, very probably decades old relationships since our school days, and he's been part of Lemon since day one. He has been saying the stupid thought that we have been nurturing for last more than a decade. So I'm so happy and glad that Dwari, you could make it to this Zoom room today. Thank you so much. And so we have this interesting session coming up by Dr. Dwarika. I think I have also been learning from him a lot. Whenever he's talking, I make sure that I'm part of his session. So I think without taking much of a time, we thank Nitesh ji and Rahul ji for joining in. Thanks everyone from Lemon Ideas also for organizing this. And now I'll request Dwari and his session to proceed. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak, Amol. Lovely sessions, Nitesh and Rahul. And yeah, so you want to start? Okay.
So moving ahead, we welcome Dr. Dwarika Unial. This is the Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean School of Business at RV University. Dwarika ji is a very renowned academician and closely associated with Lemon Ideas as our mentor for consumer insights. He is founder member of IIM Kashipur and is associated with a lot of prestigious university like IIMs and Flame University. So without much ado, I request Dwarika ji to open this training bootcamp with your session. Over to you, Dwarika ji.
Yeah, thank you. Can you allow me to share my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible to everybody? Can people let me know?
Yes,